Welcome to Royal Daily Report, your trusted source for royal news and updates. I'm your host, bringing you the stories that matter. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from Royal Daily Report. This story begins with a father waiting by the mailbox. He's excited, nervous, and proud. His little girl is marrying a prince. He imagines her in white, the music, the family smiling. But day after day, the mailbox stays empty. No envelope, no gold seal. "No, we can't wait to see you, Dad." Instead, there's a strange sentence over the phone. Maybe the invitation got lost in the mail. That single line is the first loose thread in a dress that looks perfect from far away. Pull it, and the whole outfit starts to come apart. Because the father, Thomas Markle, says the truth isn't a sweet royal love story. He says it's a careful plan that pushed him out, turned him into the villain, and protected a different story Meghan wanted the world to believe. He believes Meghan and her mother, Doria, didn't just forget him. He believes they removed him. This is the tale of a missing invitation, a staged scandal, and a wedding watched by millions built, Thomas says, on secrets that were never meant to be seen. Don't forget to subscribe to Royal Daily Report for more exclusive coverage. Before the palace gates opened, Meghan Markle had already lived many lives. Thomas Markle says his daughter learned early how to change stories, not just her hair or her style, but her identity itself. At school, teachers never met her mother, not once. When Doria finally appeared at Meghan's high school graduation, people were surprised because no one even knew she was black. Meghan had spent years letting people assume she was Italian. She spoke of Malta. She leaned into olive skin and quiet mystery. Race was never mentioned. But years later, standing under royal spotlights, she became the mixed-race duchess, the first of her kind to marry into the British monarchy. The same woman who once erased her background now carried it like a flag. Thomas says that wasn't growth, it was strategy. He believes Meghan shaped her story to fit whatever world she wanted to enter. A blank page rewritten over and over again. Hollywood wanted ambiguous beauty. She gave it. The royal family wanted diversity. She sold it. And while that may sound clever to Thomas, it felt hollow, like watching someone build a tower out of mirrors. Every reflection shows something real, but none of them show the full face. Stay tuned to Royal Daily Report. We bring you the truth. The Meghan he remembers wasn't a monster, but a girl who hated feeling ordinary. She wanted to be chosen, seen, adored. And somewhere between the auditions, the red carpets, and the palaces, she learned that the truth was too heavy to carry. That's where the double life began, the one the cameras never caught. If there's one name Thomas Markle says should raise questions, it's Doria. He claims Doria's past is filled with moments that don't add up. After years of disappearing from Meghan's life, she reappeared in the mid-90s, living in public housing until she was evicted in 1997. Shortly after, her own father died in what police ruled an accident. He supposedly tripped while walking his dogs, but the details never sat right. Thomas points out the strange parts. Doria was the only witness. The injuries didn't match a simple fall. He was found on grass, not concrete, yet bleeding heavily. And Doria kept the dog leashes that supposedly caused the accident like a keepsake. To Thomas, that wasn't grief. It was chilling. He doesn't accuse outright, but his fear is clear. He says Doria is capable of doing very nasty things, and that her calm spiritual image hides something sharper. It's why he's openly said, "I know they want me dead." Those words aren't said by a man chasing fame. They're said by someone who's looked over his shoulder too long. Someone who believes the smiling photos and royal appearances are a cover for something darker. A quiet, ruthless plan to clean up a messy past and build a spotless image for Meghan's rise. Remember to subscribe to Royal Daily Report for updates like this. Whether or not every detail is provable, one thing is certain. Doria's reemergence wasn't random. It happened exactly when Meghan's life was about to change forever. When Prince Harry introduced Meghan to the world, he said, "I'm the family she never had." It sounded sweet, a prince comforting his bride. But to Thomas Markle, those words hit like a blade because he'd heard them before. Years earlier, Meghan's first husband, Trevor Engelson, had said something almost identical. He told her before their wedding in Jamaica, "You'll finally have the family you never had." That phrase, repeated years apart, tells its own story. Two men, both believing they were rescuing Meghan from loneliness. Two men who didn't know her father was alive, waiting and ready to walk her down the aisle. Thomas says it wasn't a coincidence. He believes Meghan used that narrative, the girl with no family, to gain sympathy and control. If she could make the world think she was abandoned, then any real family member who spoke up could be dismissed as jealous or toxic. It worked twice, first in Hollywood, then in the palace. And just like that, Thomas was no longer a father. He was a problem. He was the estranged parent who didn't understand her journey, the kind of man who could be erased with a single line. In a royal biography, to him, the saddest part isn't losing his daughter to fame. It's realizing that the story she sold the world required him to disappear. Royal Daily Report, bringing you the stories others won't tell. When the royal wedding fever hit, the press needed a story. They got pictures of Meghan's father supposedly caught in fake paparazzi moments, getting fitted for a suit, reading about his daughter in an internet cafe. The world laughed, the tabloids exploded, and Thomas Markle became a meme. But he says it wasn't an accident. He says the same photographer who organized those candid photos still works with Meghan today. That's where the phrase royal wedding scam begins to make sense. Thomas believes it was all planned, a trap to make him look unreliable, to give Meghan and Doria the perfect excuse to cut him off before the big day. He says they knew how it would end, that the stress would make him sick, and that by the time he was in the hospital, the media would already have their villain. Think about it. A father humiliated days before his daughter's wedding. A royal family told he couldn't attend because of health issues. A mother, Doria, suddenly stepping forward as the only parent on Meghan's side. The story looked perfect for cameras. A clean, simple narrative. One loving mother, one absent father. But if Thomas's claims are true, it wasn't clean. It was choreography, a carefully built image that erased one parent to elevate another. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report and stay informed. The irony is that the setup worked so well that no one wanted to question it. The media didn't call hospitals or investigate time. They just printed what they were fed. The same outlets that worshipped Meghan's rise refused to check the math on how her father went from proud parent to national embarrassment in a matter of days. That's what makes this chapter the spine of the entire expose. It's where the fairy tale turns into a stage play, and the audience never noticed the script had already been written. Before the royal wedding, before the horse-drawn carriage, and the worldwide applause, there was another ceremony, quiet, hidden. Signed on paper in Los Angeles County on August 16, 2011, Thomas Markle says, Meghan never told him or Doria about that day. To the world, she got married to Trevor Engelson in Jamaica, surrounded by sunshine and ocean views. But according to official records, that wasn't the real marriage. That Jamaican event was only symbolic. The real one was in a courthouse, and nobody in her family was invited. When you think about it, that's the first mirror of what happened later. Two weddings, one legal and hidden, the other public and perfectly staged. Meghan mastered the art of showing one thing and living another. Don't miss our next report. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report now. She took Trevor's last name, becoming Rachel Meghan Markle Engelson. Yet, by the time she married Prince Harry, that name was gone from the record. Did she ever change it back? Did the palace know? If not, it raises a question that sounds like something out of a courtroom drama. When she walked down the aisle to marry Harry, was she still Engelson on paper? It's not just about paperwork. It's about a pattern of secrecy, of building new worlds before closing the doors to the old ones, of crafting versions of herself that fit the moment. Actress, humanitarian, duchess. But behind every version, there was something unsaid, a layer sealed shut. For Thomas Markle, that courthouse certificate wasn't just a form. It was proof that his daughter could rewrite reality and smile as if nothing happened. Every story has two versions, the one told in public and the one whispered when the lights go out. In public, Meghan Markle is the self-made duchess, a girl who fought against odds, found love, and escaped the shadows. But in the version her father tells, those shadows weren't escaped. They were created. Royal Daily Report, your source for the truth behind the headlines. He believes every lie stacked on another until the truth was buried under fairy dust. The missing invitation, the staged photos, the secret marriage, the vanishing past. Every piece fits together into what Thomas calls the royal wedding scam, a show designed to look perfect no matter who got hurt. And now, as he grows older, Thomas says he fears time will run out before the truth is heard. He says when he's gone, more secrets will surface, ones too heavy to reveal while he's alive. But his warning is simple. Don't believe every fairy tale that sparkles. Some stories are polished to hide the cracks. The world saw a royal romance. Thomas Markle says it was a production, one that erased him, rewrote history, and turned real life into a script. Maybe the scariest part isn't what he claims Meghan did, but how easily the world believed the version she gave. Because once a story like that takes hold, truth doesn't matter anymore. Only the picture does. And as the father who once held that little girl's hand watches from far away, one question keeps echoing in his voice. If they could lie about me so icily, what else did they lie about? That's all for today's report from Royal Daily Report. We've brought you Thomas Markle's side of the story, the questions and the claims that others might ignore. If you found this information valuable, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Daily Report. Hit that like button, share this video with others who need to know the truth, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next report. This is Royal Daily Report, bringing you royal news that matters. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.